there female protagonists?
Uh-huh. In which one?
We'll talk about themes now
Oh,
in them all.
okay.
There seems to be
Okay.
strong characters, upbringings, and just fortune made them or led them down different roads
Mm-hmm.
in a male-oriented world. Right?
Yeah.
Well, choose any one of your female characters and talk about life.
Well, there's always a struggle as female to stand out. I, as an individual, being female, my dream is to stand out.
Hmm.
And so I make my characters, my female characters, very strong. I'm not saying I have neglected to do that to my male characters, but I also want my female characters to be strong individuals.
Yeah.
To be,
Go on.
you know, to fend for themselves, depend on themselves. Must not depend on the male counterpart.
Right.
You know, something should go wrong at any point in time. A female should be able to stand on their own.
Wow. Yes, you must have a balance. You can't
Yes.
have strong one
Right.
side and a weak one. You need that balance to
Balance,
show up,
right.
Because the strong character will sort of look like you have a bias towards the strong character
Yeah.
against the weak. It's another way of tackling this theme of good over evil, because many of the situations sprung from poverty.
Yes. Yes.
Go on, take it to me.
Yes. Then another thing is that growing up in Indian community, Indian households, we have certain traditions that, for instance, a certain culture, actually. Child marriage, for one, that girls have to marry at a certain age, and all these things. Now, while I love my culture and I live by certain traditions, that is one I don't agree with. To marry our young girls at an early age. They must be strong and able, like I say, to depend on themselves. Should something
To
go
fend
wrong,
for themselves.
to fend
That's
for
right.
themselves.
Yeah.
And that is one thing that I encourage young girls to do.
Good for you. Yeah.
You know, learn a trade, go to school, do something, go to work, have an income of your own. Don't depend on husband to bring it. What when husband go to the rum shop with it and you don't have any? What will you do then? So go to, have an income of your own.
But you go on with your story now, Rainbow in the North.
Yes. So Rainbow in the North, at the time that Ranu seek refuge in Trinidad, Rajesh was in the process of a divorce, and he left the Southland where he was living, and he was heading north.
Ah.
And that was on that particular day he was heading north. There was that significant rainbow in his path, and he wondered if it's his rainbow.
It was a sign.
If it was a sign, and if that was his rainbow. And there's a song also to go with this story. Producer in Trinidad, it captured his
Intention.
attention, and we are working on this to make it into a television series.
What sort of give you, I think it's a debate that has kind of resurfaced recently, that license to write anything you feel like. Why should you be limited to one perspective, one point of view.
Yes,
Because
why?
you're a woman, why should be limited to just speaking about through the eyes of a woman? Why can't you speak, you know, go on?
Yes, why? Why limit yourself? For me, I haven't seen that line of limitation.
Mhm.
So I went right ahead. So I don't limit myself on that. I don't think we should limit ourselves to just what we know.
Mhm.
Then, if we limit ourselves to just what we know, then how would we learn more?
Yeah.
So through research, we learn.
And you seem to have done a lot of research.
Yes, I've done my research.
Yeah. Name some of the places. Name some of the places
Mhm.
in your books.
In my books, okay.
Yeah.
In Rainbow in the North is from India to Trinidad, and lots of scenic places in Trinidad.
So you are also a tour guide, tour writer.
Yes, well, I've covered Trinidad. I've been every single place in Trinidad. I like to do that
Yeah.
when I'm free. Well, this one here set in Guyana
in
is
your
from
hometown.
Annandale. There is the
Yeah.
hometown. Is from Annandale seawall to Maikoni, to the outskirts of Maikoni and in the creek of Maikoni. Castle in the Sky. Well, one of my brothers has inspired this a whole lot.
Mhm.
He tells a lot of his adventures,
Okay.
and he would describe these places, and it seems sometimes as if I am in this place. So in this one here, we have Dominican Republic, in different places in Dominican Republic. We have Venezuela,
Mhm.
and we have Guyana.
Yeah.
Annandale also
Yeah.
in Guyana.
Good for you. Using your imagination
Yeah.
and thinking out of the box and writing from various
Yeah.
perspectives. Romance. Man-woman relationship. Talk a bit more about man-woman relationship.
Loyalty. First thing that jumps out, loyalty. Man relation should have loyalty.
Mhm.
First thing first. And from there, respect. You have to have respect. Without love, there's not you don't have. Without respect, actually, you don't have love. And from there, a man and a woman could achieve anything. As long as you have a good union, you can achieve anything that you want to achieve. And I believe in that. You have to work as a team.
Mhm.
And that's where romance comes in with love. When you have that sort of love, then you have romance.
Is that message portrayed in your book?
I think so in all of that, especially.
Could we get that when we read your books, that there is something that you're hinting at in relationships?
Yes. In all of them, loyalty is the most outstanding one, and the respect.
Good. Strong woman characters. But then you said there was a balance. Not that you
Yes.
neglected the male.
No, I did not
Right.
neglect the meal. You must have a balance, or else you would not. You'll have an unbalanced team.
Okay.
You have to have an equal floor.
All right. Let's go back to the beginning. Your influences, reading culture, schools. Talk about that.
Well, I always like reading. And when I cannot read, I listen to. Now with technology has advanced this much, you could always get an audiobook, and you could always listen
Mhm.
if you don't have the time to read. And I have been doing that a lot from way back when. And it widens your horizon. You learn different things, and your imagination flow differently. And just have your notepad and your pen, and just make your little jottings as your brain tell you, as your imagination tell you, and then go back to it.
Yeah, you must have your little notebooks.
Yes.
Right. There are two writers that come to mind, Guyanese writers. Edgar Mittelholzer, who wrote Quarantine Thunder about set in Berbice quarantine. Well,
Yeah,
Quarantine
of
Thunder,
course,
right.
of course.
And A.J. Seymour. From very young age, they kept diaries. The diaries were so elaborate and precise that even Mittelholzer recorded the weather, things about the weather, which he used in his novels, many of his novels.
Yes, I think that is how writers are born also, just observing and making little jottings. And one day you just sit down and put all these little jottings together and come up with a beautiful story.
Yeah. Like this morning, I saw a pen in the national park while I was walking. Wondering, if you can weave a story around that. How the
See, that's how the mind works. That's how a writer's mind works.
Good. What next for Geeta?
Well, I have Secrets in the Rupununi. That's a script that I am pursuing here. I would like to go somewhere for this to reach its fulfillment. Secrets in the Rupununi, it's set mainly in Georgetown area to the Rupununi, and it's a beautiful story about a migrant girl. I don't know if I should say what type. It's a migrant girl.
Yeah, migrant girl is good enough.
Yes, a migrant girl who came to our shores and get caught in her mom got caught in this particular type of job, and she encountered some abuse where she eventually died, and leaving this little girl on her own. And she met a person, and the story, I don't want to give too much.
Yeah. We,
and the story took up
Don't
from
tell us
there.
the story. We'll have to see that
Yes.
unfolding on the screen.
Yes, I would love to see that unfold.
Thanks very much. All leads for me to wish you good luck with your writing,
Thank you so very much.
the books, and your screenwriting, the script writing.
Yeah,
Right.
thank you very much. And my song.
And
And
your song.
And you would hear my song soon. Yeah.
And your song.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you so very much. Right. And I have a
Thank you
good
for
luck.
having me.
Yeah, you're welcome.